Welcome to the Book of Ruth, starring that smiley face. So, once upon a time, there was a man named Elimelech, whose name means "my God is king," and a woman named Naomi, whose name means pleasant. Now, Elimelech and Naomi were both from Bethlehem, which is in Judah. So at this time, it was the time of the judges, and there was a famine, which meant there was no food and people were hungry. So because of that, Elimelech and Naomi decide that they're going to move to Moab, which the Moabites were like Israel's enemies, so probably not the best idea, but they pack their bags and they leave. So Elimelech and Naomi, along with their two sons, whose names are Mahlon and Chilion, which both kind of mean sickly, I suppose, they pack their bags and they move to Moab. And so things seem to go pretty well there, and Elimelech's beard gets pretty big, they settle in. But then something bad happens and Elimelech dies, and Naomi's really heartbroken and she's really sad. And that happens, but she still has her two sons, so she still has Mahlon and Chilion, and they're still living in Moab. And so Mahlon and Chilion, while they're in Moab, seem to go pretty well. They look pretty happy. They find some Moabite women. One has black hair and one has bangs. The one with black hair's name is Orpah, not Oprah, and the other one's name is Ruth. And so they get married to these women, and then 10 years later, something bad happens again, and the two boys die, and then everybody's sad. So Naomi has gone from having a husband with a big beard and two sons to only having her daughters-in-law because everyone else died. But then she hears that the Lord has come to the aid of his people in Judah by providing food for them. And so she decides maybe she'll go to Judah. She's not quite happy yet, but there's hope. So she and her two daughters-in-law leave the house, so they pack their bags and they leave the house that they've always lived in to go on a path that will hopefully take them back to Judah. So there is Naomi with her roly-poly bag because she's pretty old, and then there's Ruth and Orpah, and they have their bags, which kind of look like buckets, but they're bags, and they go to leave. Now, before they leave, Naomi is like, go back each of you to your mother's home. May the Lord show kindness to you as you have shown to me and the dead, and may he grant you rest in the home of another husband. And they're like, no, we don't want to leave you. She's like, why wouldn't you want to leave me? It's not like I'm going to find another husband. I am too old. And that's when moustache, they wrinkles. And she's saying, even if I found another man and we had babies, like, you guys are going to wait for those kids to grow up so you can marry them. I think she's kind of missing the point, but she's thinking about them, and she's pretty bitter because the Lord's hand has gone out against her. So she started with a family, and now she hasn't got anyone but these two Moabite women. And so she's pretty sad, but she's telling them to leave. And so Orpah kisses her mother-in-law goodbye and leaves. However, Ruth, the one with bangs, is like, no, I'm not going to leave you, and she clings to her. And then Naomi's like, look, you should go back to your people and your gods. And she's like, don't urge me to leave you. Wherever you go, I'll go. Wherever you stay, I'll stay. Your people, they'll be my people. And your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die also, and I will be buried. And then Naomi's like, okay, well, I guess you can stay. And then they make their way to Bethlehem.